Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, I'll be talking about carbohydrates, the fuel and building material for our bodies. So what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are one of the four macromolecules. They include both sugars and their polymers. Carbohydrates, along with lipids, are good sources of energy because they both have a lot of carbon-hydrogen bonds. As you can see here, I've pointed out some of the carbon-hydrogen bonds within this glucose molecule, a carbohydrate. These carbon and hydrogen bonds have a lot of stored chemical energy, so they are broken down during cellular respiration and converted into ATP energy that the body can use. Carbohydrates are usually broken down and used for short-term energy, while lipids are more likely to be stored and used for long-term energy. There are three forms carbohydrates tend to be in: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Let's first go over monosaccharides. Monosaccharides, the simplest of sugars, tend to contain between 3 to 6 carbon atoms. These molecules usually have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms in a 1-to-1 ratio, respectively. Take glucose for example. It has 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms, a 1-to-1 ratio of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. Despite being the simplest sugars, monosaccharides are a very diverse group. Monosaccharides have multiple stereocenters, which are points in a molecule that are bonded to two different compounds. Due to these multiple stereocenters, monosaccharides have 2 to the n number of isomers, with n being the number of stereocenters the molecule has. Isomers are just variances in the molecular structure while still maintaining the same molecular formula. Anyway, due to the large number of isomers, monosaccharides tend to be very diverse. They can also be converted into other organic molecules. For example, glucosamine is a molecule that is used in vertebrate bones and articular cartilage. Chitin is another organic molecule and is used when building arthropod exoskeletons. Aside from the variances in monosaccharides, they also have a very specific ring structure. The vast majority of simple sugars tend to not exist in straight chains, but rather in ring formations. This is because in ring formations, it doesn't let the bonds rotate, meaning the structure of the molecule will not be changed as easily. In order to form these ring structures, the first carbon, carbon 1, bonds to the oxygen atom that the fifth carbon, carbon 5, is bonded to. This results in the straight line forming a ring structure. Now for disaccharides. Disaccharides are just two monosaccharides joined together by dehydration synthesis, which then forms a glycosidic linkage. If you don't know how dehydration synthesis and hydrolysis works, watch my previous video. But basically, in dehydration synthesis, a water molecule is taken out in order to join two separate molecules. Some disaccharides include sucrose, maltose, and lactose. As you can see here, these molecules consist of two separate monosaccharides joined together by dehydration synthesis. As for polysaccharides, they are similar to disaccharides in that they consist of multiple monomers, but rather than only having two monomers, polysaccharides consist of 3 or more monomers joined together by dehydration synthesis. Polysaccharides are just polymers of monosaccharides, and they usually form more complex carbohydrate structures. Some polysaccharides include starch, cellulose, and glycogen. Starch is a major form of storage of glucose in plants. Cellulose is a major component of cell walls in plant cells, and glycogen is a major form of storage of glucose in animals. As you can see, with polysaccharides, due to their more complex structures, they can play more important roles. That's it for today. I hope you learned a lot about carbohydrates, and thanks for watching.